Hello everyone, I hope you had a fantastic International Women's Day. My name is Juno Fitzpatrick and I'm the Network Coordinator for Big Ideas. Today I'm going to be talking you through the final round judging process. As always, throughout this training, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. My email address is juno.fitzpatrick@berkeley.edu. As I go through this presentation, we're going to be talking about an overview of the contest, the timeline, the judging criteria, and how you use the judging platform. I'd like to welcome back our pre-proposal judges and also extend a special welcome to final round judges that are joining us for the first time. Now I'm going to share my screen with you, so just give me a second. Excellent, so here we are. So as I say in this presentation, I'm going to be sharing a brief overview of the contest, the elements to look out for in the full proposals, which you will all be viewing for the next few weeks, the criteria according to which you will be judging them, and finally the platform on which you will be providing your feedback and scores for these projects. So what is Big Ideas? Big Ideas is an annual contest aimed at providing funding, support, and encouragement to interdisciplinary teams of undergraduate and graduate students who have big ideas. Since its founding in 2006, Big Ideas has inspired innovative and high-impact student-led projects aimed at solving problems that matter to this generation. By encouraging novel proposals and then supporting concrete next steps, Big Ideas is helping contest winners make an impact all over the world. Our emphasis is on early stage ideation and innovation. And what this means is that many of the projects that go through the Big Ideas contest in fact represent the first time that an idea has been put to paper by the students who generated it. So let's look at our 11th year in numbers. The contest launched in September 2016. In November, the contest received a record number of pre-proposal applications from 326 student teams, representing over 900 students across 11 campuses. Following an extensive review process, 66 were selected as Big Ideas finalists. Teams advancing to the final round received mentorship and additional support through the development of their full proposals. And with the help of you all, we will determine roughly 40 winners who will go on to receive funding for their big idea. At the end of the final round, prizes will be awarded in 9 categories, with awards amounting up to $10,000. So let's look at the 9 categories we have this year. Firstly, art and social change. This category encourages students to create innovative art projects that meaningfully engage with issues of advocacy, justice, and community building. Energy and resource alternatives is where students come up with sustainable alternatives to our current energy and resource consumption trends. Financial inclusion for students with innovations that address unmet needs of the financially underserved. Food systems, with projects that support food insecurity, sustainability, and justice, but also health in food systems and equitable access to nutritious foods. Global health, where students develop their ideas that help alleviate health concerns among low-resource communities. I'd like to reiterate that global health projects can be focused both domestically and internationally. Hardware for Good describes plans to develop an innovative hardware technology or design a technology-led solution that uses an existing hardware product in a novel way. Improving student life for new initiatives that improve the UC Berkeley student experience. IT for Society, and this leverages IT to solve major societal challenges. And finally, scaling up Big Ideas for previous Big Ideas award winners who have advanced their projects and are looking to take their ideas to the next level. At this point, I would like to thank our sponsors, without whom this contest would not be possible. So Autodesk Foundation, the UC Office of the President, USAID Development Impact Lab, the Associated Students of the University of California, the UC Berkeley Blum Center for Developing Economies, UC Davis Medical Center, Citrus, the Berkeley Food Institute, and the Rudd Family Foundation. So why are our judges important to us? Without judges who commit valuable time and energy to reviewing student proposals each year, this contest would simply not be possible. So thank you. You help identify the most promising projects that Big Ideas go on to fund and continue supporting. And perhaps most importantly, you provide feedback to all participants, finalists and non-finalists, which is truly key to their growth. In fact, time and time again, feedback from judges, as well as during the mentorship period, has been stated by our students as the most valuable resource that they have access to as a part of the Big Ideas contest. So thank you again for your dedication as you make this competition possible year after year for 11 years running. Now let's take a closer look at what this year looked like at Big Ideas. I'm going to start with the timeline. So throughout the full semester, students worked to craft their 3-page pre-proposal with the support of Big Ideas info sessions, workshops, and advising. We also held a number of networking events and speaker sessions to provide teams with opportunities to network and recruit the talent they needed to craft strong proposals, which they then submitted on November the 16th. Following the deadline, the pre-proposal judging period started on November 18th and ran up until December. And thank you all to pre-proposal judges listening. A lot of you watching, as I said, in this webinar, they worked hard to provide feedback and scores to all applicants. And we then shared this feedback with applicants shortly after the judging deadline. After winter break, we kicked off the final round of the contest. This is the full proposal phase. Prior to the January 26th kickoff event, each finalist team who requested a mentor was matched with an industry expert who had the specific skills and expertise that the team members identified as being valuable resources as they move forward with their projects. Again, many of you tuning in also contributed as Big Ideas mentors, so thank you so much for your time throughout this year's mentorship phase. The Big Ideas team also held a number of workshops and advising sessions to support teams as they honed their ideas and crafted their 10 to 15-page full proposal, which they submitted this week on March the 8th. So we've got 66 finalist teams that went on to compose final proposals and are now anxiously waiting. Important phase is therefore the final round judging period. This will kick off on Friday, March 10th, tomorrow. I'll say a bit more about that when I go over how to use the platform. Throughout the next 3 weeks, you will review up to 8 proposals in your assigned category, which you should all plan to complete by March 31st. That's a Friday. And what I really can't stress enough is the importance of providing teams with written feedback on their projects, which these students will use regardless of whether or not they go on to be awarded funding. After all the judges' feedback has been received, winners are notified of their awards around mid-April. Before then, however, and throughout the next 2 months, we will be hosting 4 exciting events that we will invite you to join us at. So first up, we've got the IT for Society poster session, which is on Thursday, April 6th in the afternoon. This is an exciting event where finalists in the IT for Society category will be on hand to present their ideas to a panel of judges and answer questions about their projects. For those of you judging in this category, we've been in touch about you participating in person if local to the Bay. For all others, you are welcome to join us. This is a very fun event because winners and their awarded funding amounts are determined then and there, which makes for more of a fun time. We then have the People's Choice video contest, for which the voting will run from April 10th to April 24th. This is an additional way for teams to receive funding for their ideas and involves teams creating short videos of their projects, uploading them to social media, and recruiting votes from a global audience. We'll be in touch with further details about this fun contest, and you will have the chance to check out these students' videos and vote for your favorites. Also in April is our grand prize pitch day. This is on April the 26th, runs from 5 to 8. In this contest, our top finalists are invited to pitch their project to a live panel of esteemed judges who will then select winners to receive an additional award. These awards range from $1,000 for third place to $5,000 for first in 2 categories. These categories are campus and community impact and global impact. This continues to be one of our most exciting events, so please keep an eye out for this invitation, and I hope to meet those of you in person that can attend. And last but not least, we have our award celebration. This will take place on May 3rd and bring together the entire Big Ideas community. Projects and plenty of time for judges, sponsors, mentors, and teams to network, engage, and learn about the innovative projects that have been developed throughout the Big Ideas history. So that wraps up this year's timeline. As you can see, we like to keep busy here at Big Ideas. The awards this year, thanks to our generous sponsors that I mentioned previously, we have $300,000 in funding to distribute to teams. Teams can request a maximum of $10,000, and on average, we give out $5,000 per team. As I've mentioned, we have numerous additional opportunities for teams to win additional support for their ideas. So that concludes the overview of this year's contest. Let's now look at what you can all expect to find in the proposals that you will begin to review next week. Full proposals will be between 10 to 15 pages long. So the first element will be the title. What's important to remember here is that the title of the team's proposal will be the title of their submission on the judging platform. Just something to look out for. Once you click on that title, you'll see a short 50-word summary of the team's project. Here, note that the information in these summaries is the extent to what has been authorized to share publicly, much like in the pre-proposal round. Otherwise, details from within the proposal should remain confidential. I'll go over the privacy policy agreement in a few minutes. Within the proposal itself, teams should have a needs or problem statement. This should reflect that teams have collected enough background data and evidence on the problem they are addressing, both relating to the problem itself, but also to the community or market in which they will be implementing their project or product. Teams should also show that they have done adequate research on what other solutions are out there that address the same problem and on why these ideas still fill the unmet need or remaining gaps. Of course, the proposal will contain the project description. This is the summary of the nuts and bolts in the project, including how it works, its goals, and the impacts it hopes to have. This section should include a description of how teams plan to surmount any challenges that they expect to run into, and should also show that they have thought of most, if not all, possible challenges. What's important to note as you read these descriptions is that the emphasis of the judging in the final round is on the viability of the project, unlike the pre-proposal round where judges focus more on the creativity of the idea. Projects should also include a component relating to the success measurement. Here we ask how teams will show whether or not their project is achieving the impact they hope to achieve. We're focusing specifically on the successes after the project's first year of implementation, which we consider being June 2018. Although we don't require a rigorous impact evaluation, RCT, or other formal monitoring and evaluation tools, you should be looking out for metrics and proof that the team has thought about the impact of their project in a quantifiable way. Next is the timeline of the project. This should describe the specific activities that will take place, again, in the project's first year of implementation, and how these activities will achieve the team's objectives. In terms of team members, proposals will also include short team bios. These should outline the capability of each team member to pursue the idea and accomplish the goals that the project sets out to accomplish. And finally, the team's budget. This should include the expected costs and revenue of the project. Again, it's in the first year of implementation, so we're talking about June 2017 to June 2018. What's important to note is that the average Big Ideas award is approximately $5,000, and proposals should not be requesting more than $10,000. The requested amount is typically seen in the funding gap section of the budget template. This template is what the Big Ideas team has suggested for use and will likely look different in each proposal. Teams also may include any plans to leverage additional funding sources if appropriate. So there we are, what you should expect to find in the proposals you'll be assigned. Moving on now to the judging criteria. Please note that detail on each of these criteria is provided in the judging handbook, which I circulated via email, and this is also hyperlinked. First is viability, worth 40% of the total mark allotted to the project. Here you should consider whether, given the project description and the team members' expertise and skills, the team will likely be able to meet their proposed goals. Again, please keep in mind here that 1-year timeline we asked for from teams. Strong proposals will demonstrate consideration of potential obstacles to implementation and adoption and propose convincing solutions to address these challenges. The teams should also have considered all relevant aspects of development and crafted viable marketing goals, effective marketing strategies, and realistic training and recruitment procedures for personnel or volunteers. Also look for whether or not the team has identified and developed relationships with potential community partners. The second is familiarity with the community and market in which the team will be developing their project, which is worth 15%. Here you should look out for whether or not the team demonstrates that they have done their market research. Strong proposals will discuss similar programs, projects, or products that currently exist and how their project compares and tackles issues that other actors in the field have left unsolved. Also worth 15% is the potential for impact criterion. What you should look out for with regards to this criteria is whether the project addresses a truly addressing social problem and that the team have proven that they intimately understand the problem and make a compelling case that their project directly addresses it. For 10%, the team's overall score is their budget. Again, as I said, teams cannot request more than $10,000 and should show that they have a plan to raise the additional funds needed if their funding gap is greater than this $10K. Budgets, as I mentioned, will look different in each proposal, but you should outline all relevant expenses and revenue, again, for the project's first year of implementation. Also worth 10% is measuring success. Teams that score high in this particular metric will demonstrate a viable plan for measuring success in achieving their project goals. Although we don't ask for the exact measurements, the proposal should still explain what will be measured, how it will be measured, and justify the measurement which will lead to the team achieving their desired impact. And finally, also for 10%, the quality and the creativity of the overall proposal. This is your chance to tell us how innovative the idea is and whether or not the project is generally of high merit and worth funding. Before I move on to the judging platform, I want to stress again the length of the proposal and that you are not responsible for reading beyond the 15-page of the submission document and should be providing your scores depending on the content of those 10 to 15 pages. So now moving on to the fun stuff, the online judging platform and how to use this platform. You can find PDF instructions within the judging handbook that, as I said, is hyperlinked on our judges webpage, and I also circulated this via email. I'll also attach the judges manual to the email that I share with your WiseHive login credentials, just in case. First, when you click on the link, you'll be taken to the login page. Your username will be your email address, and we'll send you your password after this training. Please note the hyperlink, it ends with FP, final proposal. If your hyperlink ends with PP, that is the pre-proposal round. So make sure it ends in FP. Logged on, you will be taken to the landing page where you will see your assigned list of proposals organized by name. The tab on the top indicates your category label. So you select an application by clicking on the applicant name or the green preview button. As you begin your reviews, you can either view or download the proposal via the save function. Make sure to keep this confidential. I really can't stress that enough. When you press review, this will take you to the judging scorecard. The scorecard includes a mix of multiple choice and free response questions. Qualitative feedback is invaluable and anonymous. Before you begin reviewing, you must agree to the privacy policy at the top of the page. Answer each question in the review form with the drop-down box provided and provide detailed feedback in each text box. To complete your review, click on Submit. You can click Save Draft or Save to save your progress and return at any point. You can move on to your next review using the navigation option at the top of the page. This is Next or Return to Listing. You've submitted your reviews on your landing page. You will still be able to edit submitted reviews through March 31st by clicking the Done button. So this concludes this year's final round proposal judges training. I'd just like to thank you so much for your time and patience throughout this process. One of the greatest contributing factors to the success of Big Ideas is the network of multi-talented judges and mentors who support the contest. Judges have the opportunity to get a first glance at the next generation of innovative ideas and provide feedback to help shape and improve them. They all become part of the Big Ideas network, which includes opportunities to meet and gain exposure to other industry leaders and social innovations. So I'll just bring us back to the video. Hello again, everyone. Thanks so much for your time and your patience throughout this process, especially in this last couple of months, responding on email. As always, I'm here. My name is Juno. My email address is juno.fitzpatrick@berkeley.edu. We also have Big Ideas at berkeley.edu. So please feel free to reach out throughout this process if you have any questions or concerns, whether that's regards to the criteria or your login credentials. So shortly after this training, I'll be circulating an email which will have your email address and your password. And as always, just let me know if you have any problems. I'm here to help. Okay, have a lovely rest of your day.